Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Let me see who was here first. Kathy G, thank you very much. And MJB, Carol Lunn, Lorna Williams, BD40, MJB, I said that already. Okay. Judy Matasset, thank you. Jose Williams, and B. Martin, Vivian Green, Emma D., and a host of friends and others. Yalibi, hi, Black Queen. Very cool, thank you. Well, there we go. Now, I promise you, I did not do anything to anybody's photo. That's the way it was. Oh, Facts and 2 Cents. Hey, Petal. Thank you so much for being here. All right. Okay, so let's get started then. I can't believe I got the slides up and ready. But yeah, I do. Oh, I just got one more thing I need to do. I almost forgot. No, I did that already. I astound myself when I got stuff done already. All right, let's get on with it. So, Backlash. Meghan Markle and Kate Middleton reported differently. I have changed this title several times, so I think now is grammatically correct. Queen Camilla jets away. Mystic Toxin, hi. More royal news. Yeah, and plus there's more royal news. So let's get on with it. Let's see if we can finish in like an hour. How's that? 1 hour in and out. Okay. But don't make me promise. I'll do my best though. Okay. BS Speaks Royally is here. All right. Very nice. Okay. All right. So on with it, shall we? So this is actually the way these two photos were paired in a publication. I don't remember which one, but at this point, I'm not ready to say enough is enough, and I'm certainly not ready to say forgive and forget. Maybe forgive, but not forget. But I remember the movie Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. And if you recall in that movie, at the end of the movie, was it Joan Crawford that, Blanche Hudson, as Betty Davis would say, Blanche Hudson. Blanche Hudson admitted that the reason why they wasn't getting on with each other is because, she was a bit jealous, and that she had did everything she could to hurt her, and to drive her insane, and to cause her problems. And of course, Baby Jane Hudson said, "You mean to tell me all this time we could have been friends?" Remember that? All this time we could have actually have been friends. But years had gone by. A lot of water had gone under the bridge, as they say. A lot of things had gone wrong. And there were people around them that over the years had taken advantage of the fact that they didn't get on with each other. And the same was in real life with Betty Davis and Joan Crawford. In order to get more out of one, you had to create hostility against the other. I mean, is that a tale as old as time, where very powerful people pit two women against each other? And, if somebody gets hurt, oh, well, long as we get what we want out of them, that's all that matters. And the thing is, I could assure you that there was someone who went into that family that wanted to be friends, but they just would not hear of it. They just would not hear about it. And there was all these outside agitators and stuff creating little scenarios and pitting one against the other. And the thing is, yeah, you may have actually, driven a good person away. You lost out on a good thing. And now there is such a power vacuum. And let me tell you, whenever there's a power vacuum, there's always going to be that situation where someone is going to get hurt, right? And right now, even though they thought they had hurt one, seems like the other one is in a great deal of pain, locked away somewhere, hidden, whatever you want to call it. But there's somebody in pain, and there's somebody else living their best life right now. But either way, the point is, in some way, form, or fashion, everybody loses. Everybody loses something. Somebody loses this, somebody loses that, somebody loses more than the other. But either way, it's not good for anybody. And it's unfortunate that that happened, but poor Harry thought that his life was going to be like an episode of Friends where, oh, let's go to the boys' apartment. Let's go to the boys' apartment. Everybody gets on and get along with each other, but it just wasn't meant to be. Instead, it was more like Seinfeld, where everybody seemed like they really like each other, but the truth is they were all mean and malicious individuals. Okay, no, that's not a good example because there is truly one side that is sinister here, so that's not a good example. But anyway, my point is, it didn't have to be that way. It really didn't have to be that way. And well, I mean, we've seen it play out. This channel wouldn't exist had things not gone that way. I mean, I was really looking forward to just seeing Meghan, doing all this stuff and cutting ribbons and opening libraries and traveling the world for the Commonwealth. Would have been a nice thing, but again, they interrupted that narrative and decided to go to the dark side. So they left. And I'm so glad that Harry and Meghan, I'm so glad that they got their family out of that situation. I am so glad. There's not a day to go by that I'm just like, yep, that was the right call. That was the right call. Because had they stayed, could you imagine? Could you imagine? They wanted Meghan to be the one that was locked away in the cellar somewhere, in the Tower of London, or whatever they do nowadays. That's what they had planned for. That's what they had planned for. If it's one thing that those people are very expert in doing is exploiting somebody's weaknesses, pitting people against you, putting one side against the other. They're expert at that. That's how that little island managed to conquer the world. That's how you do it, is you put one side against the other. Of course, it helps if you have Bibles and guns and, you do it in the name of the king or queen. That also helps. But Bibles and guns, that's the usual way they used to do it. Bible in one hand, gun in the other. Nowadays, they just depend on a bunch of courtiers to make deals with the media and hire bots and stuff. So the Kate Middleton conspiracy theories need to stop. So we talked about this yesterday, but why don't we put a face on this, shall we? Ruth Estes Samuel, cultural reporter. Yeah, she's a culture reporter. Is a culture reporter at Huffington Post. Previously, she has interned at the Los Angeles Times, Today Show, and Radiolab. Ruth also has bylines in Teen Vogue, Allure, NBC, BLK, whatever that is. Is that NBC Black? I don't know. Uh, Glossy, and more. She graduated from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Ruth can be reached at, look at this, she even has an email, but it's a company email, but she even has an email. So even though I couldn't find any place where she has ever written about Meghan before, at least at Huffington Post, I couldn't find it. I mean, well, anyway, I'll show you. Have you ever written anything in defense of Meghan Markle, the Black woman who is being abused, harassed, and lied on, smeared, and tortured by the British royal family, William and Kate and their gutter trash? And she says, yes, at the Los Angeles Times, in fact, and that's supposed to be the link to whatever that is. But, and she says, now, if you read the entirety of the Huffington Post article, instead of fixating on the headline, which writers do not select, you'd see that I continue to do just what you said. And the last comment down there says, what was the point of the article? So I read the article, and it seemed like most of the article was links to Twitter, also known as X. It seemed like that's what it was, is a bunch of links to this and that. And if you take away what was written in the article, all you have left is these conspiracy theories need to stop. That was it. There was really the article didn't give you anything new. Everything else in the article just seems to be a vehicle to remind us that Kate Middleton conspiracy theories need to stop. It was very light. It was a very lightweight article. And it seems like the headline was the point of it. And that's why the person says, what was the point of the article? Because it didn't seem to have a point. It was just a bunch of words telling us what we already know, that Kate, took some time off. I mean, it's just, I couldn't make heads or tail of it. And the person who posted the article gave us a link for it, right? They gave us a link for it. I went to the link. And like I said, it was pretty lightweight. It didn't seem to be much to it. So, again, what was the point of it? So right here, it says, one of the squatties says, HuffPost, for the past 7 years, there have been conspiracy theories, abuse, and bullying of Meghan Markle, but I couldn't find any articles from Huffington Post calling for the conspiracies and the abuse of Meghan to stop. I wonder why. Meghan is biracial, Kate is white, 2 royals, same family. Thank you. 2 royals, same family, but yet nobody, and I do mean nobody, at the Huffington Post up until this point, and let me tell you, I didn't look myself, but trust me when I say this, the Sussex squad is quite thorough. And if somebody that I have used as reference before say they checked, they checked. Doesn't mean that it doesn't exist, but the Sussex Squad Detective Agency is rather thorough. And you all know that. You give them the littlest thread and they will find you the truth. So again, why does it seem that all of a sudden, just out of the blue, everybody seems to be jumping on this bandwagon that Kate deserves her privacy? Kate deserves her privacy. Here's some of the articles, the most recent articles. I don't think she has, and she said, to be fair, she said you have to go to the LA Times if you want to see me say something, I guess, in defense of Meghan. But This is what I can find for her on the Huffington Post. There's the one about Kate. And let's see, for 2024, it looks like she's been pretty busy. But there's no royal coverage. You know, she covers culture, pop culture stuff, but there's no real royal coverage. So let's just say I don't think that she's really an expert on anything to do with the royal family. And that's what frustrates me, is that people who have commented on the ongoing struggle to, get respect from that institution where the Sussexes are concerned, or at least to get them to leave them alone. They don't know. As far as I'm concerned, they don't know. They don't know enough to say what's right or wrong and what's fair and unfair. They don't know enough. But yet, it seems like when they have something that is, I guess, against Meghan in so many words, everybody's an expert. Everybody is sure of what they say. How can you be? I mean, this is just a handful of things that I found from, going into clicking on her name and finding what she's written recently at Huffington Post. I'm sure she's a good writer if she's writing for the Huffington Post. Sounds like she has a good resume, CV, whatever you want to call it. But this one, I don't think you have enough information to say enough is enough. It's enough when we say so. That's when it's enough. So right here, here's another one. Kate Middleton earned her sick leave. Get a grip, people. And this is from the Washington Post. Kate Middleton earned her sick leave. Get a grip, people. Yes, absolutely. It's clickbait. There was no substance to the article whatsoever. It's just clickbait. But nobody was submitting clickbait when Meghan was being abused, and certainly not enough of it. So, I mean, as everyone is saying, what was the point of the article? What was the point of the article if it wasn't clickbait? So this lady right here, I read this article also. And so she sums it up by saying, when Catherine, Princess of Wales, appeared on the steps of the Lindo wing at St. Mary's Hospital, clutching a 27-hour-old newborn, but already wearing high heels, I have not been able to look at her without thinking, oh, honey, no. It was tradition. We were told for British royalty to muster themselves to exactly these hospital steps ASAP after giving birth. And so this is what Kate had done: delivered a baby, gotten a blowout, plastered on a wan smile, and waved at the cameras. Any mother watching the spectacle could only hope that before Kate left her hospital room, a nurse had slipped her at the good ice pads. The good ice pads. Oh, that's a lot to think about. That would explain the look she had on her face, I guess. But, and so for having done what women do all the time, that is, have kids, right? There's a lot of women that have babies, and no, most people don't have to get dressed up and go stand on the steps, but that is what she was expected to do as the Princess of Wales. And of course, when they asked Meghan, why haven't you done that? And Meghan said, nobody asked me, right? This is Meghan, who traveled 8 months pregnant to Morocco, right? Something that was a first for anybody in that family. But yeah, and traveling on the Oceania tour. I don't think anyone pregnant had ever traveled so far during the time when there was a travel alert because of the Zika virus. she did that also, right? So maybe she didn't stand on the steps and wave to people, but Meghan traveled to Morocco because Morocco sent for Harry and Meghan. They didn't want the other two. And Meghan also went to the Oceania tour during the threat of the Zika virus because, as newlyweds, that's what they were expected to do. So she did that too. So if this is supposed to drum up some type of sympathy from us because Kate stood on the steps of the Linda wing, good luck with that one. I mean, I'm sure most people will buy it, that was quite the sacrifice. But I think Meghan worked a lot harder during her pregnancy than anybody else in that family had ever been asked to do, and probably ever will. They had the star power. Everybody wanted them out there. So they got up and they left. They did not complain. They packed their bags and they went. But because Kate has been in the family for 10 years, is what the article said, that she had paid her dues for 10 years, even though she only worked less than, let's say, 120 engagements a year for 10 years, even though she only worked very little. She had paid her dues and she deserves a vacation and all the privacy that comes with it. That was the guts and bones and flesh of that article. That was the whole body of the work, was that Kate has paid her dues. Yes, if you say so. And then, of course, there is still memes popping up every place you look. Missing, but not missing, but not missed, rather. If you have any questions, or I'm sorry, if you have any information, please contact GB News. Reward £1 for those who can find her. So, yeah, if you can find her, you're good for £1. And this is the latest one I've seen. Missing, presumed rich. Have you seen this family? This is my new favorite, by the way. Have you seen this family? Oh, pedo. I don't know. Let me see. Where is my manners? I don't think I've ever put pedo up at the top there. Let me see. I'm going to put pedo in the top of the chat so you guys know where to subscribe to Facts and 2 Cents. Let me see here. Hold on. And as always, yet another Sussex friendly space. Oh, okay, I got it. No worries, I got it. Okay. Yet another Sussex friendly space. Okay, so I've done that. And okay, I just pinned it to the top of the chat. So if you all are looking for another Sussex friendly space, there's always pedo over at Facts and 2 Cents. All right. Okay, moving on here. Now, okay, so this is what someone shared. Let me see. You're supposed to believe that Kate left the same hospital on the same day as Charles. Duplicitous, complicit gutter media telling you that Kate Middleton's assistant / stylist driving in front of a blacked out SUV with a pic of a plant is proof of Kate leaving. Then again, this is the same media that told you the surgery was unexpected, but it was scheduled. Do you see why there's conspiracies? That Prince William visited every day, but there's only one pap shot of him, but countless shots of consort Camilla walking in and out, 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 and in and out, and in and out of that same hospital. Is this transparency? You know, I have to say that's one of my favorite parts is Camilla smiling and running in and out of the hospital. I think at least on 5 occasions and 3 outfits, Camilla was in and out of that hospital. And if you ask me, you know how they count how many engagements that each family member has done? I say I am going to write in and tell them, please give Camilla a count for each visit to that hospital because that was the most work I had ever seen her do in such a short period of time since she married into that family. She was in and out of that hospital. Some people, I don't know why that's funny to me, but she was in and out of that hospital, I believe, at least 5 times. And people were saying that she did that just to show that William hadn't been there at all. And if that was the point of it, it worked. This is why there are conspiracies. Is this reporting without fear or favor? The same tabloids that sent a reporter after the fact to Caribbean nation to find out what financially independent public figures did. Are we willing participants in the taxpayer-funded royals' lies being pushed by Prince William? I say yes. I say yes. Anyway, this was a squatty that wrote this. I think it's brilliant. And also, let us just point out that if Kate had been in that hospital, there have been several occasions where we've seen royals walk in and out of that door, including Philip being driven away, and nobody could say that he wasn't there because obviously he was there. There's photos. And to pretend otherwise is what leads to conspiracy theories. Dang, Baron, can you get some of those benefits? I work was it AI all the time? Oh, I work all the time. I got you. I wish I could get some of those benefits. It's nice work if you can get it. Thank you so much for the super chat. All right, let's move on. And then, of course, Queen Camilla takes a break. Exhausted Queen Camilla. She's exhausted, y'all. Exhausted Camilla, 76, takes a week off as stepping in for the king takes his toll. Queen jets off to enjoy sunshine overseas, but royals now down to bare bones after recent absences from Charles, William, and Kate. It was all that running in and out the hospital. That's why she's tired. All that popping in and popping out. If you're going to tell it, be fair. She exhausted herself popping in and out of that hospital. Just so that she could show that William did not. She was in and out of that hospital. I count 5 times that Camilla popped in and out of that hospital. So that's why she's tired. It's not because of these few engagements. That's because she kept running back and forth in and out that hospital. And smiling. Don't forget, she had that big smile on her face, letting you know that I'm here. Where's William? Where's Willie? But you know what? I don't think Charles is vindictive, but I don't think he's as bad as Camilla. Because Camilla, Camilla was supposed to. Well, actually, let me remind you what happened earlier last year. They went to that flower show, and it was supposed to be Charles and Camilla, right? And next thing you know, they get there and they find out that the press is preoccupied because Kate showed up unannounced. Kate showed up, and they even rounded up some school kids and had them bust in so that she could have somebody on her level to interact with, right? And you might remember that's when the remember the little black boys was looking at her like she had two heads, and the kids were like really upset because they didn't want to be at no flower show. Well, anyway, people said that Camilla was going to get even. So, what did Camilla do? Well, I'm sure she did a lot of other things, but one of which I think was popping in and out that hospital like that when William had only been seen one time. So, okay, Camilla's off on her, what is it, Hollybobs via a gas guzzling, planet destroying private jet, whilst her beloved husband fights cancer alone without his sons or daughter in law, who is still missing. This is how they talk about Meghan. So I fixed it for them. That's James Barr, of course. That's the one who was on that show with Hoghead Pierce Morgan. That's the young man that oh God, I forgot what he called Pierce Morgan out about. But anyway, he's I think he's a comedian, and Pierce Morgan invited him on, and so as you can see, he's writing the story the way it would have been written about the Sussexes, and I think that is only fair. He gets a bail for that. But yeah, it's true. If it was the other way around, they would have said gas guzzling, planet destroying private jet, and blah, 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 blah. So there you have it. So Queen Camilla is reportedly taking more than a week off from royal engagements after filling in for Charles III during his cancer treatments, with her expected to return for Commonwealth Day. Well, if she's going to go to Commonwealth Day, she's going to need her rest because uh, William probably ain't going to go. And I told y'all a while ago, I said, William ain't going to Commonwealth Day. Well, I would be surprised if he missed it because he got in trouble for missing that other thing. But it's the same scenario. Camilla is going to lead the family in place of Charles. So will William suffer the indignity of having his stepmother, an abuser of his family, follow him, or would he follow her into Westminster Abbey? And even more scary, is he going to walk behind his, or I'm sorry, not walk behind, but walk beside his stepmother? Stay tuned for another episode of As the Stomach Turns. This is like a soap opera, Adrian Burrow. Is instead of As the World Turns, is As the Stomach Turns. Yep, as the House of Windsor turns. The days of our Windsors will return in a moment. Just as the sand runs through the hourglass, such are the days of our Windsors. Anyway, let's continue. So, Queen's ORF on Hall's. What is ORF? I don't know what that means. What is that another one of those old English terms? Orf on holes. Queen's off on holiday. Is that what that's short for? Anyway, King has cancer. Kate on long-term leave. Will's in no show, and now Queen's on holiday. I tell you, it is like a soap opera. So all of the key performers, all of the key members of the family that consider themselves working royals, guess what? They ain't working. They ain't working. Everybody has called off at the same time. Just like for the life of me, I can't figure out how come William ain't working today, and does he have anything on his schedule for next week? I don't think he has anything on schedule. Otherwise, they would have mentioned it. I didn't see anything. Prince William and Princess Anne set to step up as exhausted Queen Camilla takes break from work to enjoy sunshine overseas after holding down royal fort since King Charles' shock cancer diagnosis. Well, if there's something on the books for either of them, we'll find out. I didn't see anything. Nobody mentioned anything, but I'm sure there's a ribbon to be cut somewhere. Or there's a food pantry that's in dire need of William to show up with no food and very little time to spare. He'll come in just like he and Kate did that time with 9 cameras and, of course, spend 55 minutes and nearly run over people getting out of there. Kate Middleton feels exhausted and trapped after Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's royal exit. Following Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's royal exit, it looks as though the royal world is caving in on Kate Middleton. Well, that's the monumental understatement. It seems as though that was predicted in May of 2020. You remember Kate was in that magazine, The Tatler, and they asked that lady to write the article, and she wrote it the way it was, explained to her that Kate Middleton is exhausted. But then they removed it from the internet, and then they rewrote it so that it didn't make Kate look so lazy and ungrateful. Kate admits she's already exhausted from long hours in coronation chat with fan. Excited fans got a chance to meet the Princess of Wales as the royals made a surprise walk along the Mall to greet fans. And see, even after the embarrassment of the Tatler, every time somebody says, "Hi, Kate," what does she say? "I'm tired." All you have to do is say, "Hi, Kate," and the first answer you get is how tired she is. I don't know why they had them take that magazine off the shelf. If you're tired, you're tired. If a little work is enough to wear you down, but let me remind you, Meghan worked harder during her pregnancy than Kate has ever worked, pregnant or not. Kate has been notoriously lazy. William has been notoriously lazy. And they got a bump in the polls because of the hate campaign against the Sussexes. But now it has all come out again. They're lazy and they don't want to work. The press makes excuses because they're raising the next king. They're raising the next king. Yeah, you, him, and the nannies. Yes, it's 3 kids and at least 4 adults, maybe 5 adults if you count all the nannies, raising those kids. And if you count the cooks, the drivers, the cleaners, the keeper of the stool, the one that polishes the pegs, there's a whole staff of people. They're not doing all this by themselves. What did Wank do before Harry and Meghan? Oh, right, nothing. Here, here. Here, here. Notoriously lazy. Kate hit by backlash after exhausting admission, out of touch, patronizing nonsense. And that's what happened after she said she was tired that time. Let me see. Kate, Duchess of Cambridge, has been branded out of touch after opening up on the challenges of parenting during an ongoing pandemic. Even during the pandemic, how many times has Kate said that she's tired? That's why people don't have a lot of sympathy for them. She goes in the hospital, nobody cares. They thought there was going to be this outpouring of sympathy, and it didn't happen, right? Then she takes a leave of absence and still no sympathy. I have yet to see anybody go to the gates of Windsor Castle, Admiral Hall, Kensington Palace, dropping off flowers for Kate because they don't care. They're too busy trying to heat and eat their heat their homes and eat. They don't care about that stuff. That's one of the most privileged and protected people in the world, and still complains. And William has the nerves to take off from work so that he can care for Kate, even though, as I said yesterday, there are tens of thousands of people every day that are coming off of a medical leave or they have someone in the hospital and they still have to work. They still got to drive the bus. They still got to pick up the kids. They do all that stuff without a staff of 62. And it's not really their fault. It's the press for trying to sell this soap opera, trying to pay all of this sympathy credits for them. It doesn't work. They're harming them, not helping them. They'll find some nincompoop on the street that's going to say, oh, yeah, she deserves her privacy. She needs time off. Most people don't care. Those people don't speak for all of Britain. Breaking. Queen Camilla is taking a break from public duties for some downtime, which means that none of the four most senior royals, King Charles, Queen Camilla, Prince William, and Kate Middleton, are working right now. All is not well with the royal family. You could say that again. All is not well. They are getting pretty dated, I would say. They're about as popular as a beach blanket bingo movie. Yeah, they're about as popular as one of those beach blanket bingo movies. B. Martin says, so King Charles III is Missington? It is, as well as everyone gone about, as well, everyone gone about their business. Absolutely, B. Martin. That is the truth. Okay. I promised the hour, so let's see. I'm going to keep it moving. This is Cloud Nugget's work. Cloud Nugget happens to have been in rural England and found a image of Camilla, or Milla, as Cloud Nugget says, found an image of Milla on her way to Cancun. So if you are wondering where the Queen Consort is going to spend her holiday, you may look around Cancun and don't be surprised if you don't see her there. So you can't keep a good consort down, right? So again, this is the incredible work of Cloud Nugget, one of my favorites on the Twitter sphere. I'm just an old cowhand on the Rio Grande. All right, so William's absence from memorial for his godfather, King Constantine, was not connected to Thomas Kingston's death. This latest bout of conspiracies started with that statement right there. As a matter of fact, because of how weird the response to Thomas Kingston's death, that's one of the reasons why people have been drawn into this conspiracy. When you have something that looks like, for lack of a better word, looks like a homicide, even if it was self-inflicted, when you have an inquest, when you hear things like, severe head trauma, inquest, missing a memorial service, someone has been missing since they entered hospital. When you put all those ingredients together, plus you have a queen consort that keeps popping in and popping out. When you put all that together, you have yourself a very dandy episode of The Crown. Okay, this should be the next season of The Crown. Leave the Sussexes out of it, but this should be the next season of The Crown. Some of these stories just write themselves. And you can see right there, contrary to speculation online, Prince William's absence from today's memorial service for King Constantine of Greece was not because of the tragic death on Sunday of Tom Kingston, husband of Lady Gabriella Windsor. Okay, that doesn't sound suspicious. And then Rebecca English. It's worth noting it has been confirmed that the Prince of Wales' absence from the memorial of King Constantine today for personal matter was not connected. Do you see how this sounds? Do you hear how that sounds? Do you hear how that sounds? It sounds suspicious. And then Kate Manzi. It's important to note. I'm sorry, but this is funny. It's important to note that this is not believed to be the reason why Prince William pulled out of today's memorial service. I never saw all of these together. As a matter of fact, I've never seen these before. But this is why people are being a little bit suspicious. And then Roy Anika, another official royal correspondent. Royal sources say the death of Mr. Kingston is not connected to the Prince of Wales's absence from King Constantine's memorial service. Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop. How many times are you going to tell us that this has nothing to do with it? If you keep saying it like that, then it sounds like wink, wink. You know what? The reason why Willie ain't here is because Thomas Kingston is dead. Psst, 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 pass it on. Hey, huh? The reason why... Oi, 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 mate. The reason why... if you all stop saying it, maybe people stop believing it. But if you're going to say it over and over again, is it any wonder why people seem to think it's connected? I'm just sharing this with you all so you all understand something very clearly. It is not us. It is not because of the Sussex Squad. This is because of the tabloid media. Instead of making things better, they made it worse. If they said nothing, trust me, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. I wouldn't have put two and two together. But, but now that you mention it, then that's when I say, wait a minute. I wonder if this has something to do with William calling off. You see what I mean? I'm not that bright. I wouldn't have thought about this. But because they keep saying it, now I'm thinking, gee, that must have had something to do with Thomas Kingston. Listen, if you all want to help, don't help. Just don't say anything. But when it's coming from Richard Eaton, Rebecca English, Kate Manzi, and Roy Anika, then of course people think it's got something to do with it. Otherwise, why would they mention it? Why would they say something? Why would you put it out there if it has nothing to do with it? Do you know how many times I bring up something that has nothing to do with anything just because I want to make sure that you look at it? Stupid. If you ask me, they are begging us to put some pieces together. They are begging us. They beg us to string this together. And because that's what they have asked us, that's what you'll get. If you don't want us to piece it together, then stop mentioning it. Don't bring it up. But you keep talking about it. Silly rabbit, tricks are for kids. And then let's sum it up right here. Harry and Meghan are to keep low profile because, Harry and Meghan are to keep a low profile because Charles has cancer and Kate is still ill. But Camilla is going on holiday. Tyndall's and York are at the F1 in Bahrain. Edward and Sophie went skiing. Pippa's went on holiday. And William's hanging out with celebs. This double standard is unbelievable. Yes, as this squatty has pointed out, it's a big double standard. And it just reminds me of the fact that Meghan, and of course, we don't know if that's Meghan for sure. We can see that there's a woman of color driving a car, and they said that this woman was Meghan and that she was seen smiling while all of this other stuff was going on. So it's a problem for Meghan, and we don't even know if this is her or when the photo was taken. But if it is Meghan, that Meghan was seen riding around in a Range Rover in, I suppose, Montecito. Well, if I lived in that zip code and I had a Range Rover, don't you know I'd be smiling too? I would be smiling. I mean, the little crappy car I got now, I can't stop smiling. So if you put me in a Range Rover, don't you know that I would be riding all around one of the best zip codes in the country? Of course she's smiling. You'd smile too. Duh. We want privacy. We want privacy. We want privacy. Well, if it's privacy you want, forget it, because you are paid by the people, and therefore you are not entitled to any privacy. I have never heard them talk about privacy and the royal family until Kate came up missing. Meghan is trying to smash the royal family's contract with public. We pay, they pose. Remember that? We pay, they pose. Well, Kate is trying to smash that contract with the public. They pay, she pose. Lorna Williams says, first they said Thomas Kingston was found in his apartment, and now they're saying he was found at his parents'. What story is it? Thank you, Lorna Williams. Thank you very much. Absolutely. They keep changing it. The man died a week ago today, and yet we didn't hear about it until Tuesday. Nothing suspicious about that. And then when we hear about it, then we find out that William took off, but it had nothing to do with that. William took off, and it had nothing to do with that. Wink, wink. I'm telling you guys, these people, they're so incompetent. All they are royal reporters, and they talk about the same people all the time. How could you not get that right? How could you not get that right? How do you mess up talking about the same people? Oh, Kate sat with the children. Oh, Kate is holding a folder. Oh, Kate is talking about the early years. That's the easiest job in the world. And William's going to be king. William's going to be king. William's going to be king. And yet, the least little deviation, like Kate supposedly had surgery, William supposedly wasn't with Charles Kingston, the least little thing, and they can never get it right. They can never get it right. And don't forget, William will bend heaven and earth to be with Kate. Although it seemed like it was Camilla that was jumping in and out of the hospital, not William, not her mother. None of them. William was seen near the hospital, never went in, never went out, just driving past. You can't make this stuff up. Royal rage. Meghan, you don't get to claim privacy after your star-studded baby shower and wedding that we forked out 30 million pounds for. Being a royal isn't a party time job. It isn't? It isn't? Really? Because when they were trying to show the world that they were not racist, right? Remember that? They was trying to prove to everybody we are very much not a racist family. Or should I say the last time they tried to prove that, that's exactly what they did. They had a star-studded party. Excuse me. They had a star-studded celebration to show the world that where is it at? There it is. There it is right there. See there? Royals put on a show of defiance days after being smeared in Omid Scobie's race row. King and Queen are joined by Prince William as dazzling Kate as and a dazzling Kate as they mingle with a glittering group that is of global guests at Buckingham Palace diplomatic reception. In other words, a party. A party. That was a party at the taxpayers' expense. That was a party. Lex says, you see that? Meghan's friends paid for the baby shower. Yes, Meghan's friends did pay for the baby shower. It did not cost that institution a nickel, not a solitary nickel. So, and thank you for reminding us about that, Lex. But yes, they paid for it. And then, of course, the tabloids went to look at the hotel room or suite and such of this, such of that. And royals don't have baby showers. Forgetting the fact, or should I say, ignoring the fact that Meghan is an American and there's no reason why some of those American traditions should not have been maintained. But yeah, they decided that Meghan should not have any joys of a normal life, that she is the property of the royal family now, not worthy of privacy. But now all of a sudden, because Kate wants to keep everything hush hush, now all of a sudden, the royal family deserves their privacy. The timing of Meghan's announcement is sure to raise eyebrows as King Charles and Queen Camilla's coronation is just days away. Now, that's the Huffington Post. And let me tell you something. I thought that all that stuff with the Huff Post had died down yesterday, but today, as you can see, the squad is not having it. You see how somebody wrote, you this? I'm sorry, this you? This you? They had tweeted that to Ruth. This you? I mean, somebody, when they said this you, I swear I could just picture somebody taking their earrings off. This you? This you? Hey, this you? This you? Huh? Is this you? I'm going to ask you one more time. This you? Baby, when I saw this, I screamed, this you? Of course, I took the person's name off of that because I didn't want anybody going into their Twitter. But yeah, they tweeted that to that Ruth, what's her name? This you? Oh, man. It does not pay to get the squad upset. I don't think that this was from that Ruth person. I think this is a different writer. But God, was that funny. This you? Oh, yeah, Ruth Samuels, that's her name. This you? but I don't think she wrote that one. I think that was somebody else that wrote it. But whoever tweeted that, listen, calm down, deep breaths. I don't think it was her. I don't suspect it was her. It was somebody else. Squatty's always ready with receipts to call out these racists. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. So, again, the Sussex squad is something that they did not anticipate. But yes, sometimes we do go a little extra. We can be a bit extra. But the point is, when people are mistreating a woman of color, a black woman, woman of color, whatever you want to say, whichever is appropriate for the conversation at hand, mixed race woman, when someone is out to abuse like that, somebody needs to call them out. And it was the same as when I'll even point out Britney Spears. When people felt like there was an injustice, there were several squaddies that was there, pulling for her, trying to help her get justice. It's not just based on one thing or the other, but it's just based on truth. It's based on consistency. Be consistent, and you won't have people call you out like that. But when something is unjustified, well, then you're going to, to get the business. Blue Draws, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for being here and being a member of Royal Sussex. So, yeah, I am still having fun with this topic, you guys. Now, speaking of having fun, I got to share this with you. I'm going to play the sound for you. But these are, well, one of these people, they're the ones responsible for the Ryanair tweet that, kind of burned up the internet. So I'm going to play that for you. You can hear an explanation about how that happened. Okay. Ready?
So I won't explain the content. I'll let you maybe figure it out. But if you Google Ryanair and Prince William, you'll get to see what content was put out there. Prince William, there was rumors at the time that he was known for a recreational activity that would shock a lot of people.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, we have to talk about this. Yeah. But we can't talk about this. Yeah. How do we do it? Yeah. So then we went, okay, so how do we come up with a concept that we know that the audience will get without saying it? Mm. So the guys devised, they went to Peace Content. We got one of our lovely airline chairs, and for some reason, one of the armrests were sticking up. Just, again, we forgot to put it down. We also then started crafting copy around, letting William know we saved him a seat, and we just joined the dots. But before that went out, which was the final piece of content, we actually started to put language in, like Prince William and all these things. And if we would have done that, we were toast. It was liable defamation. So we were able to strip it back to the point where could have been any sort of William. We could have been like Josie. It was their 40th wedding anniversary. They contacted the Ryanair social media team and asked, could you put out a post for my husband William? I'm going to surprise him with a holiday for that 40th wedding anniversary and just tell him we saved him a seat. So whatever we put out there, it could be interpreted in so many ways. But we knew that the timing of it and when it went out, the audience would know exactly what would happen. So anyway, went out, completely exploded. There was nothing there that was a risk. We mitigated enough where legally or anything it would have been an issue, and it was, really funny joke. We got a call from the palace telling us to take it down or we want a public apology. And we were like, at the time, it was the PR team where took the call, and I got a call. I was playing fetch with my dog that evening. Shit. And I get a call going, Michael, what have you done? I went, what are you talking about? It was that Kensington Palace called and asked to remove a tweet, or they're looking for a public apology from our CEO or a statement to explain. I went, okay. And I said, well, what do you want to do? I said, well, we have to take it above. And I said, okay, see what they say. And at this stage, we got what we needed for it. Got loads of reach, millions of reach. People were taking screenshots and sharing it. And we said, well, we're not going to apologize for it because we haven't done anything wrong. There's nothing there that connects the dots to what they're inferring. We could have been talking about Josie and William's 40th anniversary, which we were. Yeah. By the way, I know this is being recorded, so we were. And so they were like, I just take it down. And went, yeah, okay, let's do it. So we deleted it. So we called them, we said we take it down. And they're like, thank you very much. See you later. But yeah, there's loads of other examples.
So there you go. That is how that happened. It doesn't have to be any William whatsoever. It's just by coincidence that there are certain things that William has become famous for. And of course, even South Park predicted that. And there you have it. The Prince of Pegging. Phyllis Johnson, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Sunday to you, or Monday morning. Greatly appreciate it. So, of course, their pegs had become very popular because of Willie Leaks. And, of course, Royal Rumor might be inspiring straight men to get that. It even wound up in the Rolling Stone. Woo! It even wound up in the Rolling Stone. And then Dr. Shola says, can I please ask, no judgment, please, why Ryanair is offering Prince William 3 seats when he can afford the whole plane? Am I missing something? Or is this just to do with the pegging? With the pegging thing, you enlighten me on. Just curious. And of course, hashtag Prince of Pegging. Thank you, Dr. Shola. Just goes to show, just because someone is highly educated with a PhD or doctorate or whatever, doesn't mean that they don't have a sense of humor. So thank you, Dr. Shola. I know, just shady. So, of course, I had fun with it myself. I found that a copy of the Daily Mail, remember the one where Sarah Vine had wrote that ugly thing? Well, instead of that other word that I hate, I decided to change it, and I took Harry and Meghan off of the cover, and I put Willie and Katie on the cover. Yes, they're joyfully in love, so why do I have a pegging worry about this engagement picture? And then, of course, this other one, Prince of Pegging, I thought he liked to sleep rough with black men. But it was a different caption, but I changed the caption on this. Well, this was a meme. I forgot what the original meme was, but I changed it for Willie Leaks. So there you go. Even I got in on the fun. And then someone from Germany enlightened me about, or were they from Austria? Oh, I can't remember. It was Austria or Germany. They said, you know what "Noff" is in German? This is a German word for knob. Everybody can use it if he or she wants to. And of course, what is William's favorite AIDS name? Jason Knopf. Yeah, so Knopf in German is knob. Jason Knob. That's a weird coincidence, isn't it? That is a very, very strange coincidence. As a matter of fact, it just reminds me that William went over 1,000 miles for a pulled pork sandwich. And anyone who would go 1,000 miles for a pulled pork sandwich would gladly hire someone named Knopf. Oh boy. I got to stop smiling. My face is starting to hurt. Nash Singby, thank you so much for the super sticker and for being a member of Royal Sussex. Okay, moving on. Okay, it looks like we didn't make it to the hour. I tried to keep it under an hour, but looks like that was impossible. Okay, so I got some good news to share with you guys. Let me pull that away from here. There we go. Arriving at Academy Museum today, I am so deeply thankful. Well, that is everybody's favorite photographer slash Hollywood director. Of course, Misan Harriman. And Misan is not really accustomed to this kind of attention. And I have proof, okay? And by the way, you all, this is exciting for him. This is new. So I don't want y'all laughing, but Misan found himself on the red carpet. And you could see when he first started off, he was like a little stiff and not sure what to do. But then when he got into it, look at him. I could, you know how they's like, Misan, over here. No, over here. Misan, give us a smile. Right here, Misan, all of those photographers snapping away. And I know, isn't that adorable? He's so uncomfortable and stiff. But you could tell when he put his hands in his pocket, then he was cool. Yeah, look at him being all cool and everything. But at first, he's just like, what do I do? But once he got into it, so I think by the day, let me see, when is the Academy Awards? I figured by that day, he is going to be totally relaxed and comfortable with all this stuff. But right now, this attention is just a little bit more than what he's used to. So go easy on him, Hollywood. He's just someone who picked up a camera a few years ago, and now he's this Hollywood director. So next Sunday, thank you. Next Sunday, very cool. Yeah, so be ready for that. So I'm gonna have to watch because I want to see Misan. I better come on early that day so we can catch it. And then if anything interesting happens, I'll come back on after the Oscars, okay? Again, I'll try not to be on during the Oscars, but if anything interesting happens, I'll come back on after, like a surprise appearance or something like that. One can only hope. But yeah, it should be fun. Misan, over here. Oh man, yeah, but these are cute. Misan Harriman is absolutely adorable. I love how humble he is and how everything is just like unexpected. And here he is, world famous as a photographer in such a short period of time. This is the Cinderella story of photography. So, okay, let us move on, you guys. And send in the clowns. But where are the clowns? Gary Goldsmith's a clown. Well, maybe he's here. Just when I thought the baking soda was... Never mind, let me stop before I say something bad. Anyway, everyone's favorite purveyor of baking soda is back in the news. He's back in the news. Send in the clowns. Okay, Kate Middleton's black sheep uncle, Gary Goldsmith, is read the riot act by Princess of Wales' infuriated mother over fears he could spill royal secrets on celebrity Big Brother, with sources saying it could embarrass the firm. Kate Middleton, black sheep uncle Gary Goldsmith, has been scolded by Princess of Wales' parents after reporting signing up to Celebrity Big Brother amid fears he could spill secrets about the royal family, sources have claimed. Outspoken businessman who is the brother of Kate's mother, Carol Middleton, was today spotted picking up some last-minute shopping ahead of Celebrity edition of the series returning to our screens after a 6-year absence. Really, 6 years? It's been rumored that Goldsmith, 58, has secured a substantial deal with ITV bosses to go on the show, which begins on Monday night. So there you go. Gary Goldsmith, Kate Middleton's uncle, and Carol Middleton, Carol Middleton's brother. Now, it has been reported in the past that he has done some shady things. And, well, I'm not surprised because everybody in that family look kind of shady, don't they? I mean, everybody in that family look kind of shady. Those are some rough customers, those Goldsmiths. Well, anyway, Gary Goldsmith is going to be on Celebrity Big Brother. They said that he was out and he was shopping for some last-minute stuff. Now, just to remind you about Gary Goldsmith, in the past, they have written about his activities. You can see right there, he's using a piece of cardboard or a credit card or something, separating lines of baking soda. I still don't know what he does with the baking soda. He must be a chef or something. But anyway, he's in the kitchen, I guess, measuring out some baking soda. He doesn't use like measuring spoons. He prefers a nice marble countertop and a credit card. Unconventional chef. Maybe he's one of those, what do you call it, bespoke chefs or a artisanal. Yeah, he's artisanal. He's making some artisanal baking goods. Yeah, that's what he's doing. And then to show you what a hero he is, sometimes when he spots what appears to be a small fire on one of the city streets of London, he'll just whip out his wee-wee and just pee on it, just so that everybody's safe, right? Most grown adult men are capable of doing that. And of course, there was that time when Gary Goldsmith's girlfriend was having a fit or something, and just to calm her down, he kind of, beat her upside her head because he's a gentleman and he didn't want her to hurt herself. He didn't want her to hurt herself. And so giving her a good thumping seemed like the responsible thing to do. And in the confusion, Kate Middleton's uncle Gary was accused of, beating her up. Let's see there. Duchess of Cambridge uncle businessman Gary Goldsmith was arrested following reports of him hitting wife Julianne in early hours of Friday morning. Yeah. So I'm sure he was completely exonerated. It was probably just a misunderstanding. He's not really the vicious slob he appears to be. He's actually an upright, honest businessman who can't seem to get a break. And if there's anything that bothers me in this world, that's when a rich white man can't get a break. When the day comes that a rich white man can't get a break, are any of us safe? I say no. I'm pretty sure that is enshrined in our Constitution somewhere, that the founding fathers realized that in this world, a rich white man had better get a break. Otherwise, none of us are safe. So anyway, that's Gary Goldsmith, Kate's uncle. And he's going to be on the Celebrity Big Brother. I wonder if he's going to do any baking on Celebrity Big Brother. Don't they have a kitchen? I'm pretty sure he'll. Well, if they do, of course, we know you can count on him for baking soda. Okay, so and then of course he right there he would he's also a pharmacist. See there, Kate's Middleton's uncle exposed as drug dealing millionaire. Not only is he a chef, but he's also a pharmacist. You know, I might watch this season. He's a pharmacist, you guys. Prince Williams was last night forced to cut ties with Kate Middleton's uncle after he was filmed giving pharmaceuticals to an undercover reporter. Nice guy. Baron, don't baking soda give you white teeth? Just saying. Yes, and it also can collapse your septums. Remember how Mike Tyndall's nose was collapsed? They said that happened in rugby, but I don't know. It could have been Uncle Gary. Thank you so much, B. Martin. Now, this is very cool. I'm almost done, you guys. I think I'm almost done. This is very, very cool. Check it out. That is Prince Harry. This is one of those AI photos, but wow, Prince Harry would have looked really, really hot back in the 40s, right? That is a good look for Prince Harry. I would love to see him dressed up like some type of film noir detective. That is a good look for him. A film noir detective. Just like the Sussex Squad Detective Agency. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to use that photo for Sussex Squad Detective Agency. Very, very cool. Oh, I got the last thing I'm doing is this person. Speaking about Harry and Meghan's time since leaving Britain, royal author Angela Levin said even Americans are getting fed up with the couple's hypocrisy and whinging. Yeah, even Mrs. Magoo said that. Of course, she sees things that are not there because I think she's nearly blind, but you didn't hear me say that. But speaking about Harry and Meghan, it's time since leaving Britain. Royal author Angela Levin said even Americans are getting fed up with the couple's hypocrisy and whinging. So this was, a matter of fact, let me see, where did I put the article? There's an article. Did I push that further down? Oh, I didn't include the article. Oh, Lord. Let me see if I can find it. That's what's missing is the article. That was supposed to be the next one. But anyway, the Daily Fail had another one of their clickbait articles where they were saying that the Sussexes reboot or whatever they called it, their new, their 2024 reset, which is their words, not the Sussexes. That's what they call it. They're saying that it is stalled because Americans. Oh, there it is right there. There it is right there. I'll show you. But it says, wait. Let me do this first. I totally flubbed that one. Okay. All of that, and I forgot to put that screenshot that I had, but I will share it with you now. One second. Okay. So, as I was saying, Mrs. Magoo, is Harry and Meghan's U.S. schmooze offensive stalling? Americans are put off by the Sussexes' endless moans, and they don't like pairs attacks on royal family, expert says. Actually, they have not attacked the royal family. They have spoken their truth, and they have pushed back against these negative narratives that they have come up with about the Sussexes. But I would not say that it was an attack. I think it was to offset over a year of attacks by the scheming, leaking, and briefing royal family, mostly Kensington Palace. But when you read through the article and you try to figure out who is this expert, well, guess who the expert was? Well, I've already given it away. It was Mrs. Magoo. She's the one. This is the one that this article is based upon, which means it's a slow news day. They are taking someone who is a known Sussex hater and using her words to try to justify this idea that Americans are turning against Harry and Meghan. You all, that's laughable. We know that that's not true. And you know, I have to warn you guys about something. Given this political season coming up, they are going to do everything that they can to keep trying to push Harry and Meghan into their fundraising for the Republicans. They're going to try to get that orange monster to mention them again, although I think in fairness, he's only mentioned them like maybe 3 times. I think it was a total of 3 times. But he's not really interested in them. And one of the reasons why you know that this doesn't work is because if it had any traction, he would mention them all the time. But he doesn't because it's a non-story. It is a non-story. Agatha Christie writes her next novel. Angela Levin, Troll Doll Levin. Angela Living Troll Doll Levin, horrible person. And that's true. She is a living troll doll. And her nickname is Agatha Christie. And of course, if you have any doubts about her being a troll doll, just take a look. Can you tell which is Angela Levin and which is an inanimate piece of plastic with hair plugged into its holes? Which one is it? Okay, I give. Angela Levin is on the right. The left. That's Angela Levin on the left, a living troll doll. And not only that, but she's also a notorious liar. She just makes up stuff. Just like that article saying that Americans are sick of the Sussexes, tired of the Sussexes. She would know that very well, considering she's not an American. She's not over here. And she may never appear on American television again, ever. But yet she's an authority on all things American. Now, yesterday, and we're almost done. Yesterday, I told you guys that when you strip away the nastiness from Nana, she's actually an attractive person. You see what I mean? When she's not bristling and gnashing her teeth on television, she is reasonably attractive, arguably attractive. But you see what evil, what hostility can do to a person? Let me show you a comparison. You see what I mean? This is Nana when she's talking about Harry and Meghan, or when she's talking about anything to do with left-leaning topics, right? And then this is her when she's not. Don't you want to be that person, Nana? Like right here, you can barely clock her wig line. Even her wigs fit better when she's not being hostile and mean. So I wasn't making that up yesterday. She can be a very attractive person when she wants to be. But if you're sitting up there barking at people like Auntie Esther on Sanford and Son, then you're going to turn into Auntie Esther on Sanford and Son. find your grace. Find your grace and stay there. You'll be much better off. People will perceive you with more humanity. Even that troll doll, when she's not sitting up there lying on people, she looks more motherly than she looks like some evil witch from a Disney movie. See, that just shows you what that type of attitude does to a person. And as we were saying yesterday, what's on the inside is what comes out on the outside. And that's why she looks so bad. It's not just because she's an unattractive person. I don't think she is. It's because the way she conducts herself is very unattractive. And that doesn't draw people to you. That turns people against you, not towards you, but that turns people against you. So she needs to lighten up and stay off of messing with the Sussexes, because she's gonna. How do they used to tell the kids when they make a face? If you keep doing that, your face is gonna freeze. Well, your face is gonna freeze. Hello, everyone. Why is Uncle Gary not in jail? My side is hurting, Baron. Angela Levin is not dead yet. No, she's not. She is quite alive, and in spite of that, she looks like she has. She looks like she's transitioned, don't she? But like I said, that's because the ugly inside is coming outside. Thank you so much for your super chat. But that's what it does to you. It turns you into a beast. It turns you into an ugly person. And that's what they're doing to themselves because they cannot stop hating. They have found a way to make money being hateful, and they won't stop doing it. So, yeah, they should give up on that. I don't think so. I think it's just like, okay, if you take a look at the photo there on the left side, she's smiling. She's not angry. She's in a good place, and she seems better. But on the right side, yeah, I mean, it looks like there's a little bit of a filter or something like that, but it's not as though it's not the same person. But compared to, when she goes to do what is it, the GBN, she has to huff her and puff and stick her chest out and say all of this stupid stuff. It's stupid. It doesn't serve anybody. Yeah, I understand you got to make some money, but at what cost? At what cost? She reminds me of Auntie Esther. Big difference. Big difference. It's almost like it's not even the same person, but she's doing that to herself. What's that? The wig photo is killing me. Well, I explained that yesterday, like the tectonic plates that create mountains and stir up volcanoes and also causes earthquakes. The wig is putting pressure on her cranium, and maybe that's one reason why she's so angry, is because the bigger the wig, the more pressure is pushed down on the cranial mass. And not only is that causing bitterness and anger, but it also is causing her to look less attractive. So I am of the opinion that if she would just be nicer, then she wouldn't, look so menacing and so horrible. But right now, she just, she looks bitter. She looks absolutely bitter. And that's not a good look for her.
Bitter. And, somebody needs to say it. Bitter. Bitter, bitter, bitter.
Yeah, she looks bitter. So I hope that's helpful. I mean, I don't mind explaining it again if I have to. But right here, in his memoir Spare, Prince Harry claims that the name of the midwife who helped Diana deliver him was Meghan. And in the book, it is reported on this parody account. That is a parody account. So if you see a quote in a parody account, then you should know that it's a parody. And I remember distinctly Mummy calling out to Meghan right after she gave birth to me and thanking her. I think that's when I knew the name of my future soulmate. Now, how would Harry, a newborn baby, know that the midwife's name was Meghan? Who would remember something like that? So Angela Levin, looking for an excuse to say something negative about Harry, she tweets, and Spare, Harry writes, and I remember distinctly Mummy calling out to Meghan right after she gave birth to me. I remember distinctly Mummy calling out to Meghan. Harry remembers being born. She believed it, even though it's a parody account. And she tweeted that. She tweeted that. That's why I told you. I believe she's the love child of Mr. Magoo, because she obviously can't see well. If she would have looked, she would have seen it says parody. Baron, nice try. The synthetic, the wig is synthetic. A flat iron would melt it. Corner store wig. B. Martin, you know sometimes I try to be nice. You know sometimes I try to be nice. I do. I try to be nice sometimes. Thank you so much for the super chat. So yeah, and then someone tweeted, imagine just taking quotes from a parody account and tweeting them as fact. Words fail me. Yeah. So she ended with words fail me. So this person tweeted in response to that, words fail me. But that's Angela Levin. She lies and says terrible things, and people really dragged her. Like right here, somebody said, "Are you drunk?" And somebody else tweeted, Angela Levin is a liar. Angela Levin is evil. And then somebody else says, not in book, liar. And lastly, someone tweeted, why are you making up words? This wasn't in the book. Did you forget your meds again, Angela? So, you know what? If you leave them enough room, they would do themselves in. You don't even have to say anything. Yes, a beast, an absolute beast. And over here, does anyone know of a 4-year-old who is so bright he knows the date of his birthday and insists his party was on the same day? Well, there she is coming for Harry. And then if you take a look there, you can see where she says, age just 3, I decided enough was enough. I had to leave home. I gathered my favorite dress, patterned with, what is that? Bambies and flowers, my potty and my doll. So she's saying that she remembers age 3, that she gathered her favorite dress and other stuff and was ready to walk out of her mama's house. She can remember that. She don't remember that she was supposed to write an article about Harry, not a novel, but she remembers that she was ready to leave home at 3 years old. Yeah, that sounds logical. I've shared what Kensington Palace officials told me at the time. Through Newsweek, Angela Levin was given access to official engagements and chat with Harry for a 2017 cover. Then, without permission, she turned that material into a book. Harry was crushed and his team were furious. That's what I was just talking about. She had one conversation with Harry after following him to engagements. And the only reason why she was given that access is because of a cover article for Newsweek. And since then, she has exploited that access repeatedly. Day after day, she has exploited that access, at so much so that she is on television more often than not. I spent a year and a quarter with him, so I know him very well. She had one conversation with Harry. Other than that, she followed him around like a little puppy, and without permission, she wrote a book. And so the tabloid television shows insist that she's an expert on Prince Harry. Obviously, she does not know Harry. I don't think anybody has really known Harry in the media until he wrote a book. That's when people got to know Harry. Not because she followed him around for a year and a quarter. And I'm not even sure if that number is sufficient. She followed him on a few engagements. She didn't spend a year and a quarter with him. That's a lie. She followed him on a few engagements, but she wasn't living with him. They were not roommates. Iris Demonia, thank you so much for becoming a new member. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Now, I think you've already had a membership, but maybe you just redid your credit card or something like that. But either way, thank you so much. But I could have sworn you already had a membership. But thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. So that's it, you guys. That was the last of the last of the last of the last. Good night or good morning, whichever applies. Thank you so much for joining us. And I have to warn you, I am enjoying the way that the royal family seems to have imploded. And I ain't through talking about it yet. So if that ain't your cup of tea, it ain't your cup of tea. You know what to do. But in the meantime, I'm having too much fun. So whenever you see our queens, you know what that means. That means it's time to go. And still almost 2 hours, but I tried, you guys. I tried to keep it moving. I promise I did. Thank you, moderators, for keeping this a safe space, which reminds me, there is one moderator who is nice enough to help out with the moderation over here, even though she has her own channel. Let me see if I can do this. And that, of course, is our dear sister, VS Speaks Royally. So I'm going to put VS at the top of the chat so you can find another Sussex-friendly safe space. Now, as you know, most days I come on later, even though I try to do otherwise, I end up coming on later. But VS usually comes on long before I do, so get your Sussex-friendly space on earlier. Let me see. How come I can't do that? Nope. Okay. There we go. Replacing the pin at the top of the chat. There you go. So remember to like, subscribe, and share. Let's grow this Sussex Squad community. So when something happens, that people looking for an alternative voice to get away from the vitriol and the hatred will find a Sussex-friendly space that they can turn to so that they don't get all of that filtered, brutal, hateful, palace-driven narrative. They can hear the truth as we know it. Oh, thank you so much, Lady Bird. Thank you so much for being here. Good night, Maggie Howe. Okay, so I'm not going to drag this out today. Let me find my last word of the day. Let me see. No, not that one. Let me try something else. No, not that. Not that. I do love a good conspiracy theory, though. I do. I don't necessarily believe all that stuff, but it's just, to me, it's interesting to see the way they can piece certain things together to make a whole story out of it. But most conspiracies, I don't believe them. Oh, and also thank you everyone who signed that card for Ivy. Greatly appreciate that. Okay. Oh no, Connie B has the flu. Connie, I hope you feel better. And we will be praying for you. You cannot take a flu lightly these days, especially for us older folks. You cannot take that flu lightly. So, all right, Connie, we are going to be praying for you. And thank you for that, Black Queen, that alert. Oh, okay, here we go. A prayer for Harry and Meghan supporters. Oh God, we thank you for the army of supporters of Meghan and Harry who work tirelessly to debunk lies and expose hatred. Watch over them and protect them from their enemies. Keep them steadfast in their purpose, wise in their doings, and grant them success in all their endeavors through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Amen. Yes. That is one of the prayers that a Squatty wrote. It would have been cool if they would have put in there, and please don't let them dox us. I don't want to be doxxed. Now let's go back to Detective Harry. Where is Detective Harry? Yes, film noir, Detective Harry. I love this photo. Yep, there you go, Detective Harry. There you go, Detective Harry. Harry Windsor, or Harry Wells, Detective Harry Wells. Oh yes, VS, you stayed up with us. Thank you so much. Okay, that's it. I am going to play Madam Duchess, and then I am going to bid you all a good night. Love you guys. I will see you next time on Royal Sussex.